Today is the big day. The WoW killer has finally come out. Tarisland released just this morning, and it has been hailed as the game that's going to finally dethrone World of Warcraft for so many years. So this is my first impressions of the game, with maybe just an hour or two under my belt. Now, I never played in any of the alphas, any of the betas. I never had any early access, no streamer privileges, nothing. I went into this completely blind. I knew almost nothing about the game, so this is just raw first impressions based on that. The first thing you'll note is all the classes seem to be gender locked, and there's not a whole lot of customization for your characters. Yes, you can change things like eye color that you'll probably never see, change hair color between like 5 hair colors, and make yourself slightly taller or slightly shorter. Not really that staggering of character customization in 2024. I will say it looks nice, at least. Like, the animations look crisp, look clean. The intros, they obviously put some thought into making the characters all look unique and have an intro that kind of introduces you to what that character is all about. It's not bad. I'm not saying it's great either. I mean, it's not like these are the most breathtaking graphics you've ever seen in a game, but for an MMO and one specifically made for cell phones, it's not bad looking. As for the gameplay, I really don't know what to think of this game yet. As I said, I've only played it for a few hours, so I do want to play it some more, which, I mean, that's a good sign right there, right? If it's making you want to play it more, dragging you back in, then obviously it's doing well as a game. But I just don't know where to put my finger on the actual gameplay. The game was made, as I said earlier, for phones. So you have a very select amount of abilities. When you click on the ability, it automatically moves you towards whatever enemy you need to cast it at. It puts you in casting range and then casts the ability. It's very intuitive. You press the button, you get the skill, you see the big numbers, you feel good. And it doesn't seem like it's going to be super complex in terms of like combos or building your abilities. Say you've got 6 abilities, it really seems like, at least the class I was playing, which was this priestess here or cleric or whatever they call it, I pressed 1 5 times to charge up my number 2 ability. I cast number 2, it does big damage. Number 3 does damage over time. And number 5 does AoE if there's a bunch of monsters. And number 4 I use off cooldown because it does a big spike of damage. Like, not super complex, and I don't really know that there's a lot here to unearth. I don't think that there's going to be some great, like, oh, well, you'll be a better player if you do 1 5 1 4 1 3 1 2, or if you do it 1 1 1 1. I just don't see a huge difference, and there's not a lot of synergy. I feel like that's going to make a huge difference, but again, I'm only level 8, so I could definitely be wrong about that. I was very interested to see that I played for about the first hour and a half, and I didn't get hit in the face with the cash shop. I truly thought I was going to get a bunch of cash shops the second you log into the game, and they do exist, don't get me wrong. It does want your money. There does to be some form of gotcha gaming, gambling. There's lots of little consumables you can purchase. You purchase them, you use them once, and you have to purchase them again. Tons of things to skip content. It is very much not a Western MMO in that standard. It very much has all those cash shop items you'd expect from an Eastern MMO. Now, that doesn't immediately turn me off from it. Again, this is a phone-based MMO, so like, I like World of Warcraft. I play World of Warcraft. You've probably seen some of my World of Warcraft streams, but I can't play that on the go, right? Like, that has to be played from a PC. So when you're playing something on the phone, certain considerations have to be made for graphics, for playability, for abilities, because you're on a phone, right? You've only got so many fingers, you've only got so much lag. There's a lot of considerations and concessions that need to be made, and I don't feel like, as I'm playing it on the PC, that this is just a cheap mobile game. It does feel like they've put a lot of love and effort into it. Until you get to the voice acting and the quest writing. Man, is that terrible. And I mean terrible. You're talking about things where someone will get stabbed and, oh no, I've been stabbed. Just very monotone, very flat, very bad voice acting. As I said, all the classes are gender locked, yet my character continually gets referred to as he, even though this class is gender locked to a she. So like, they didn't even put the effort in to record multiple voice lines for the different gendered locked classes. And every cliche you can expect is going to be here. You've got the leader who betrays his people to save his son because his son is dying. But oh no, the great evil betrayed him. How could he not see that working for the bad guys was bad? You've got the people like, we don't trust you because you're an outsider, so you need to gain our trust by doing our hardest missions. Go kill 5 wolves. Very, very basic MMO stuff here. And then, of course, you've got the big fights, the boss fights, the raids, the dungeons you're going to see here. This is all classic MMO style. You've got your Trinity, you've got the healers, you've got the damage dealers, you've got the tanks. All the moves are super telegraphed, so all you have to do is make sure to not stand in the bad, and you will win the fight. I will give them credit for, even at low level, these couple fights that you had to do in a dungeon that I did, even though the moves are telegraphed, it wasn't like brain dead boring. It was fun to dodge the attacks, and all the bosses had multiple phases, and those phases were unique and interesting with fun mechanics in them. And that's not something we saw in WoW for quite a while. When Vanilla WoW came out, basically every boss was tank and spank, and they slowly added new mechanics. Here, they're adding the mechanics right at the start, so they can only get more complex from here. There is some customization. As I said, kind of all my skills are, you see them all at the bottom there. I have 6 abilities and an ultimate. When you get into the actual game, there does appear to be a couple other abilities. You can do some small customization to make your character or playstyle a little bit more fitted to you, but it's not, again, it's not any staggering amount of customization. I don't feel like if I ran out into the world, I feel like every other character the same as mine would look basically the same, maybe a slightly different hair color, maybe one different ability. I really don't feel like there's going to be a great difference between people who are playing the same classes. Unless, of course, you pay money and buy all the outfits and skins and things like that. Then you can, of course, look way different than other people and show people how much better you are with your wallet. I will give it praise for it has a pretty decent photo mode. I love a photo mode in a game, and it does seem like it has a good photo mode for taking some nice pictures of the environment, your character in the environment, encourage you to get out, look at things, do pictures. I like that sort of thing. It does have an open world. It does not appear to be Genshin Impact style where you can climb on everything. I haven't so far seen a stamina bar or anything like that, so the world does seem very 2D. However, I do see some mounts that look like they fly, so maybe as you get a little bit higher level, you might be able to do some flying or doing other things. I did also see in the cash shop that there is a stairway for sale, so I'm wondering if perhaps you can get up to different areas, but rather than climbing, you have to purchase stairways to be able to get up to those secret areas. Now, I know this is going to be a pro for a lot of people, but it's a con for me as someone who is religious and tries to avoid this sort of thing. This game is very booby. You'll often find the camera angles do those weird anime camera angles like here, where it just zooms in on the breasts of characters for no good reason other than sex sells. So what do I think of the game? And again, it's a hard question because I only played for a few hours. I want to play some more. And that means that the game did well, because if it was a bad game, I wouldn't want to play it anymore, right? I do want to see some more. I know that there's going to be horrible cash shop stuff. I know that there's going to be a lot of pay to get ahead. There does, I believe, be some PvP stuff, but I believe people said the PvP has standard like stats across the board, so no matter what you've purchased, when you enter the PvP, you are set on the same level as everyone else, the same grounds as everyone else. Even World of Warcraft doesn't get this right, so that would make me very happy if that's true. So I'm cautiously optimistic at this point. Is it going to be the WoW killer? No. I don't think anyone who's playing World of Warcraft is seriously interested in this game. I think that they are completely different people who are playing games. If someone wants a traditional MMO on the go, they're going to come over here because World of Warcraft doesn't offer that. If someone wants a traditional MMO with a huge world, lots to do, lots of classes, lots of customization, they're going to go to World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy because this game doesn't offer that as of yet. Now, they did say they are working on unlocking some of the gender-locked classes, and of course they'll add more content and probably more things to the shop, but that doesn't necessarily make it bad. It is just different than the other MMOs on the market right now. I think it's going to carve out its own niche, and I think that's a good thing. I think having a new niche MMO on phones for something on the go as just kind of a time killer is not a bad thing. Here you can see I'm testing out that photo mode I was telling you about. You get some different emotes you can try. You can move your character around. You've got a lot of different options to play with. it's a decent photo mode. I've definitely seen better and I've definitely seen worse. But as you can see overall, like the environment looks nice. This isn't something that I think I would write home about. Like I'm not going to show this picture off online like, wow, look at this amazing photo. But at the same time, I'm glad to have it and be able to have these options to play with it and take the photos. So again, I really appreciate a good photo mode in any game. So should you play it? Well, I mean, it's free. You might as well try it out, right? Like you don't have to purchase anything. If you want, just download it. It's like 3 gigs on a phone, 20 gigs on PC, so it doesn't take up much space. If you just want to give it a try and see if it's for you, there's literally nothing to lose. You might as well give it a try. But I honestly think, like Genshin Impact, like some of the more niche gacha games, this is going to have a big launch. Everyone's going to come in, play it, and they're going to get kind of bored of it, say, this isn't for me, this isn't what I was expecting. And within maybe 2, 3, 4 months, you're going to have your dedicated whales and your people who are like really into the game, and kind of everyone else is going to have forgotten about this and moved on from it since then. I would honestly be shocked if this ended up like World of Warcraft, where it's on what's 10, 15, 20 year anniversary. I don't see that happening here. But again, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. I'm saying this is a niche game with only certain people who are going to enjoy it. So you might as well download it, try it, and figure out if you're one of those people who's going to enjoy it, and enjoy it for what it is. I will post another review once I've had a few more hours in the game and can talk a little bit more in depth about some of the systems. But as a just getting started, first impressions, I think it's worth a download and worth trying to see if it's your niche.